Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the performance or how you can do the Int Boujack Extreme Z battle. So this is the full power Boujack Galactic Warrior, and basically this is a new Extreme Z battle for him. Obviously it is a LR Extreme Z battle, so it's super important to understand that essentially you need to have a couple things prioritized. So firstly, it's Entrusted Will Category, the typing, super physical will help as well. But most importantly, you need to have the legendary power link active to do damage. So it's not like super important for you to, like just have the legendary power link. Like just having a one unit that has legendary power link doesn't mean that they're going to do extra damage. You have to actually have that link active. So once you have that link active, then things are a little bit better and it becomes a lot easier for you to do damage. Like the damage will be augmented quite significantly. So obviously that's just something for you guys to take a look at. Obviously Boujack's EZA overall we'll discuss a little bit just now, but essentially the main priority here when team building is to consider the actual linkage. Now in terms of Entrusted Will, there's not a lot of characters that lead Entrusted Will. In fact, there's only one. So basically there is only one character, I believe, right now that leads Entrusted Will, and I could be wrong, but I believe it's only the AGL Trunks. So if you don't have AGL Trunks, obviously then that becomes a bit of an issue for you, because it becomes quite difficult then to complete the challenge. But there are quite a few ways to work around this. Super Saiyan team is probably your best bet. In terms of like teams, you've got Super Saiyan Int LR Goku. You can go Kamehameha under the LR AGL Gohan. You can go for a full future team. You can go for a Ultra Instinct Goku Miraculous Awakening team. You got a lot of options. So it's not like you stuck building just a pure Entrusted Will team. I find that for players who are maybe struggling with Entrusted Will leads, then building a Super Saiyan team is probably your next best bet. That'll be probably the best way to go about it, personally speaking, because it allows you to use firstly a friend LR Int Super Saiyan Goku, who will do some pretty decent damage, but it also allows you to use AGL LR Gohan. It allows you to use the free-to-play AGL LR Trunks, which I'll be using for this video, and generally it covers a decent number of relatively strong Super Saiyan units. Now obviously, again, you don't have to build this way. You can build however you want. You can build with an actual Entrusted Will lead. You can build a Kamehameha team. I think Kamehameha is a close second behind Super Saiyan for alternative builds. You've got Miraculous Awakening as well, which you could probably use. There's a decent number of coverage options in terms of team building. It's just going to depend on what your box is looking like. So I'm showing you the setup for some of these teams. A lot of these teams will rely on taking either AGL LR Gohan, or will rely on taking LR Int Super Saiyan Goku. I think those two are the best LRs. They do good damage, they have good coverage with their leads, and they get relatively tanky quite quickly, so they can help you out with tanking and just general usability. Also, a lot of players will have them, which means access to them is pretty decent. So that's all I can really suggest on the team building front. Obviously, if you do have an Entrusted Will Trunks, then you can take as many LRs as you want. The best LRs for this are probably going to be Kamehameha Gohan, Super Saiyan Goku anyway, But then if you can include Bardock, who's also great. Physical Bardock will do good damage, and physical Super Saiyan Trunks Teen. he'll also do some pretty good damage. So it's just going to depend on what you've got in your box, but it's important that you need to have at least two LRs. As long as you have two LRs and you can activate Legendary Power Link, then you're sitting in a good situation. The moment you don't have those two LRs, then things become very difficult because you can't do lots of damage. So it then becomes a lot more difficult for you to actually achieve a level of damage, and so that becomes a bit of a problem. So yeah, it is always a little bit of a okay, well, what can I do? What do I have that can make things work kind of situation, which is, I don't want to say unideal, but it is how these LR Extreme Z battles go. Generally speaking, these are not for brand new players, which is why it's always difficult to recommend their banners and everything as subsequent summons, because you can't actually use the LRs to achieve the EZA for your LR. You have to actually, most times, have a whole bunch of other LRs that allow you to do so. So we're skipping ahead, obviously, to level 10. The team's changed very slightly. You'll see I replaced that in trunks that I took with the strength trunks. Honestly, that was the only change. I would change the team a lot more, to be honest with you. It really started to struggle around stage 8, just because there's a lot of options here that can take a lot of damage, and I'm relying very heavily on getting the LR Trunks and LR Goku in the same rotation. So yeah, I mean, I skipped the fight. It is literally, the entire premise was getting Goku and Trunks in the same rotation and then having them do all the damage. That was it. It relied entirely on SS Goku firing off 3 supers and critting with one of them as well. So that's the whole game plan. So I just waited for that to happen. It took me 3 turns to get there, unfortunately. Hopefully for you, honestly, it's probably easier just to restart and hope that occurs, because that is probably, honestly, way easier a functionality to do than to try and actively get there with the units or anything like that. Because I still haven't even got there. As you can see, I literally had to whittle the boss down by just critting with a whole bunch of characters, which took forever. It took 9 minutes or something. It was insane. So yeah, get the Trunks, get the Goku in the same rotation, and things become a lot easier. You just have to hope that Goku kind of pops off a little bit if you want to get it done super quickly. But yeah, that's it. That's everything you need to know. Obviously, we'll take a look at Boujack in another video. We'll review him. We'll see how good he is, etc. I am fortunate enough to have him. So yeah, that's basically it. I'll see you next time. Bye.